Hi John, we're in Manchester now, and what we've got at the side of us is the remains of the Manchester and Salford Junction Canal. It used to leave the River Irwell. It went in a rather large tunnel under Granada Studios and it emerged under a car park and it ended up in the Rochdale Canal. And basically it used to be a quick way to get from the river to the other side of Manchester. But again, it's been in dereliction for a rather long time. A bit shocked actually, because I saw this when they first reopened it a few years ago, and it really has fallen into dereliction again. A bit stiff, I might say so. Yes, we are now at the side of the first lock of the Manchester and Salford Junction Canal. Behind me is the River Irwell, and at the other side of the river is the start of the Manchester, Bolton and Bury Canal. Wouldn't it be nice to be doing that? Well, what we've got, John, if we look to our left, you can actually see the inlet of the Manchester Bolton and Bury Canal. If you look carefully, you can see the stone bank suddenly curve, and that was literally the start of the canal. And like I said, you go under that bloody bridge, and then you float into your first lock, which was a combined staircase pier. Once you went up that staircase pier, you literally went straight under, and the train comes past, straight underneath that bridge there, up to East Swordshill Lane. You can see the stone inlet there. In a few short months, hopefully you'll be going through there into the lock. Unfortunately, the original locks, due to the inner relief road, locks 1 and 2, the staircase, had to be taken down, and a new bridge has been put underneath the inner relief road. So in future you'll float straight through a tunnel from the river at one level, and then beyond the inner relief road and between the railway viaduct there'll be a new staircase lock. Where we are now, John, we're actually in Salford. This is the Salford side of the canal. As you can see, you've now got an inner relief road but cut straight through the side. Originally, obviously, this road didn't exist, and the canal just sort of, well, it went straight underneath that railway bridge over there. Yeah, this is real exploring along the canal. Going down these old trackways. You can see the start of the river lock. That beautiful stonework. And this is all what remains of that bloody bridge where that Victorian murder occurred many years ago. Unfortunately, as far as I know, in Victorian times there was a murder on the bridge. Someone was obviously killed and the blood went everywhere, so they call it the Bloody Bridge. Look at the quality of that masonry, absolutely superb. Superb, that masonry there. Such a lovely curve on it. You can just about see the other side of the bloody bridge. Well, this is the actual entrance, lot 1 of the Manchester Bolton and Bury Canal, where the canal used to leave its course and end up in the River Irwell.
Now that bit there, that's not part of the bridge, is it?
No, unfortunately, when all the canal was filled in from this point in 1968, they would have put this concrete boon across, you know, just to return the F. Because obviously originally boats could sail straight through here, you know, into the staircase lock and underneath the railway viaduct.
So let's get this right, there was a lock here, there was a staircase lock going up.
Yeah, you're literally floating from the river in a boat underneath bloody bridge, and you float straight into a lock. So you float in, shut your gates, then obviously the water level will bring your boat up, and then a staircase lock, then you'd open the upper gates, float into that one, and then float up again. So here on this site you would have had 2 locks.
Now they're redeveloping it, Steve?
Totally redeveloping it, yeah. As we speak, the canal is being restored, and hopefully in a few short months, I think it's planned this section will reopen next year. So next year you can get a boat through here, which seems impossible at the moment, and you'll be able to tie up just below Oldfield Road. When they filled the canal in 1968, obviously the canal, being a canal, it had been here a few hundred years, water used to run into it, so they had a problem. You can't just fill a canal in because all the land around it floods. So what they did, they put this pipe straight through the locks, so any excess water what drained into the original canal, bearing in mind canals aligned with clay, would float out into the river. But what a sad end to a magnificent canal. All 15 miles, 1 furlong of it. What linked Salford to Bolton to Bury. Well, it's hard to think, but below our feet is the tunnel, the new tunnel constructed to take the Manchester Bolton and Bury Canal from the River Irwell underneath this busy inner relief road to emerge beneath that railway viaduct there. Amazing. As you can see, John, it looks like one big building site at the back of me, but originally the Manchester Bolton and Bury Canal went through this site. As you can see over there is the railway bridge we filmed earlier, and beyond that the new inner relief road. The canal literally came up here, you can make out the stonework there, and then it went under what's called East Ardsley Lane Bridge. And if you can see where the blue girder is, that's the new bridge which is taking the canal below the road. Just after that bridge is Lock 3, and it's possible, looking at that gentleman there, that maybe we can do a bit of filming. So let's find out. I've noticed over there, John, there's some sketches of what the canal's going to look like. Let's have a look at them. As you can see, that's the intention. As you can see from here, the River Irwell, and that's the canal going on the new inner relief road. Underneath the viaduct, you'll have some new locks, East Ardsley Lane, and then the canal goes up towards Oldfield Road. But in a few short months, it should look like that.
So what's this here, Steve?
Well, actually, John, I tell a lie. This is a footbridge. That, as you can see over there, that was East Ardsley Lane Canal Bridge. Can you see the concrete deck?
Yeah.
You can see all the lovely masonry there. But what happened is the canal came from over there, where you can see the gap where the railway is. It came along here, underneath this bridge, and here you can just make out Lock 3. And that curve is where the lock gates used to be. You can make out the curve. And this is Lock 3. And from here, you get some superb views of the original sill. So what you're talking here is quite a big lock. And that's how high the boat had to travel to get onto the next section. And beyond there is the short Salford No. 1 tunnel. At that point the canal veered sharp right, entered Salford New Tunnel, and ended up on the other side of the road. Bearing in mind the last boat came through here probably in the late 40s, so it'll be a first to see one come through again. So East Ardsley Lane Bridge, Lock 3, the short pound Salford No. 1 tunnel, and just round the corner Salford No. 2 tunnel, what we can get from the gap in the fence farther up.
I think it's amazing. I mean, just look at the sheer size of all this. We built this, and we always wonder how would the Stonehenge get built, and look at what they did. I mean, I know that was a long time ago, but it's amazing.
Absolutely phenomenal.
So is it the Stonehenge of canals?
It is in one sense. What I find fascinating about here, I first got interested in this canal in 1984 I moved to Little Leave in 1985, but I was interested in this canal in 1984 and I walked its length. But to think where we stood now was absolutely filled in, and the lock was used as a weighbridge for Lewis to enter what was a works yard. And all this area was completely built up. You had a factory over there, factories there. Fortunately for me, I took lots of photographs to illustrate what it used to look like. But if you look at the depth of this is one mighty big lock. The original locks were 68 foot long, but I believe this was slightly longer. Hi John, we've just come far up the Manchester Bolton Bury Canal. We've gone through Lock 3, we've gone through the short Salford No. 1 tunnel, and as you can see there's a black pipe, and the canal sort of disappears underneath the railway by Salford No. 2 tunnel, and the basin over there has been built on, but that building hopefully will be demolished to resurrect the canal, and then you had some more locks on the Oldfield Road. That way, Bolton and Bury, that way, Manchester. And we're going that way.